foods, we're talking about focusing on consuming whole foods, plant foods in their natural state. You know, you talk fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, seaweeds, sprouts, um, and you're reducing the need for putting resources towards animal agriculture. You want to increase your plant agriculture, decrease the animal agriculture. It decreases your carbon footprints, the amount of gas given off. Um, you're creating a more resilient food system, okay? Less resource intensive and capable of providing more nutritious food for all, okay? Um, and this is really important going forward. So you need to realize that eating more plant-rich foods that are not cooked, yes, it obviously is going to save a lot because your carbon footprint is going to be a lot less. And this doesn't mean you have to go completely raw. I mean, we're focused on high raw, but in general, just increasing the amount of plant-based food in your life takes away from some of the other things. So it is something that you can look at and positively um, improve on to help the overall carbon footprint go down for all of us. So it's a very powerful step towards food sovereignty. And we need to look at it a lot more closely. I need to see more kitchen gardens going in. Even if you don't have space to do it, you can start with something small like a little herbs on your windowsill. You can look into growing some mushrooms. You can do some sprouts, some microgreens. So those things can be added into your meals, and it is in a small enough um, environment that you can do that sustainably. So that's a good place to start. But you know, I'm always going to talk about the benefits of live food. So it's packed with nutrients, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants. You're talking about plant-rich foods that are not needing to be cooked. They can be processed in the sense of taking a zucchini and make it into pasta, making your nice salads, making your green juices. But I mean, it helps to lower your risk of chronic diseases. I really like the idea of focusing in on live food to help with prevention instead of waiting till something happens. Um, and that is how people are looking at this going forward. Um, for the last 30 years, I've been doing this is more of what happens after the fact. I want people to start thinking more in terms of prevention. It's very important. Eating the abundance of fruits and vegetables lowers your risk for a lot of these chronic diseases, whether it be heart disease, diabetes, cancers. Um, you need to work on prevention and detoxifying your system on a routine basis, boosting your energy, improving your digestion, make sure your bowel movements are really good, that your skin is breathing properly and healthy and vital and glowing. All these things are extremely important, and you need to prevent. I mean, we look at this, or we don't even think about it when we're young. When we get a little older, we start to put things in place, but we need to have um, a routine or lifestyle that starts from us that pass on to our children. So we start at a place where we can really prevent things that are happening at grossly alarming rates of late and reduce them. And food security is definitely part of that. So, raw food is deeply aligned with food security because it encourages you to consume food that is abundant, sustainable, seasonal as well. So you really want to get into um, focusing on eating more like food, getting into the farmers markets, growing your own food, um, buying local sprouts. Very important things that you can do. There's a lot more mushroom growing that is starting to happen. The thoughts of it, the seeds of it, the what is to come in the future. It is something that after we learn how to grow it, then we have to learn how to use it. And I have been, and I probably will do my next show because I did one show talking to Darren before because he's in from the UK, still there. He probably has some people in on the island, and they're going to be starting a massive campaign and really documenting all the different um, mushrooms across the island, which is going to be enormously important when it comes to the things that we can use medicinally and culinary in terms of sustainability and helping us with some of our medicine practices, which I'm really looking forward to. But learning how to make, well, I've always been using them, although Barbados has been very low in the different types of mushrooms, whether it be oyster mushroom, that only came up late. But I stuff mushrooms, I do mushroom burgers. Most people know that I make sauce, um, pilau, chow mein, um, I want to say tacos, nachos, that kind of thing. But I like to use mushrooms. It's a good source, proteinaceous source. It has that texture that you're looking for, and it takes on the flavors of pretty much whatever you marinate it in. So I really like that that is coming forward. But once you have access to the knowledge and the tools to grow some of your own food, whether it be in a community environment or your own low kitchen garden going on, it really helps with food security. You know, your environment. Because industrial farming, processing to the point of a lot of canned foods and deforestation and the loss of a lot of biodiversity because you're just doing rows and rows of the same thing. Massive amounts of water being used, and this is not this is not sustainable. So we need to shift. Um, this also helps with climate change, um, growing and eating more of the fruits and vegetables um, that is around you. It helps to protect your environment and it helps to protect you. You're creating your own cycle where you're eating the things around you, and this is extremely important. Um, Permaculture helps you with improving your soil health, and you know this from our grandparents, where they would incorporate, um, whether it be cow manure, sheep manure, um, other weeds, composting, and fold them these things back into the soil, so the soil depletion or laying some soil, leaving it and let it catch itself, and then you go and use a different area. These kind of practices were extremely important, and they still are today. Um, but this shift to going back to kitchen garden and community gardening and that kind of thing reduces your overall global food base. It lowers emissions. It protects your ecosystems. So this is extremely important um, to I try very hard every week to make sure and um, support my local farmers, vendors, people that come out there and grow some wonderful produce. Um, it's produce that is brought in from other Caribbean islands. Right now, it will be like plantains and mangoes. Sometimes I had some avocados, kind of thing. It's been a little choppy of late just because the seas have been choppy, but local guavas are in, sourshops are in. I make sure get my red bananas, my figs, that kind of thing. And these are things that you need to support your local vendors so that they can pass that on to the people that are growing it, so we all can sustain ourselves because everybody can't have a community garden or have a full garden. So you have to also rely on those people out there on the ground that are growing a lot of the herbs and I mean, it's such a wonderful thing to get these things fresh. Um, and getting into sprouts and those kind of things, broccoli sprouts are very good at making sure that you are getting extremely high nutritious food. I'm just checking the live chat, see if anybody's here with me. But this is all being recorded, so you could play it back later. And yes, I started back at my 8 o'clock hour. So we were talking about the potential of community gardening, permaculture, just providing support for your local seasonal food. This nutrient dense food is extremely important to this equation, and it's important to be part of the talks when it comes to solutions for, because you don't want to have food security and you're not thinking about health security and all these other things. You want to do it where you're making healthier, stronger choices that create a resilient community. And a lot of these practices, you need to just start small. You begin with making sure you have salads daily. You could begin with doing your green smoothie. Most people that come through the clinic, I usually introduce them to green fusion smoothie, where you are with the blending of the greens is helping to almost pre-digest some of the food to make it easier for you to get in more fiber in your diet, alkalize your system, um, and you can build out a very nutritious, um, hydrating drink to start your day off with some flax seeds or chia seeds. You can put in some sea moss. You can put in different greens. I like to put in coconut water, but it's a delicious way to start off your day. And we talked about growing your herbs, making sure that you grow some sprouts. You can learn some of these things as time goes on. In my community, the Wellness Warriors community, which you can find in my Instagram page, which is Organic Earth Barbados, you can I have videos in there where we learn to make sprouts. We talk about mushrooms, microgreens, starting your own little garden, but like I said, supporting your farmers, real important. Um, Going to the farmers market, sustainable farming practices, reduces the carbon footprint, educating yourself so you can learn to grow some of these things yourself. It is really important, especially if you have the opportunity to do things in a community and you're doing them. So, Maisie can make the seasoning and somebody else can do um, the herbs for herbal teas and dry them and package them off. And then you have somebody else that has something else like coconuts that you can use. And you all use them in a sustainable community fashion. Um, the neighborhood thrives, the neighborhood becomes healthier. And the whole point of this is to intentionally reduce your carbon footprint to make a big, like these small intentions can make a big difference over time. So you will be improving your health, you'll be building resiliency in the community and sustainability for the future of everybody. So if they didn't have community farming before, is something that we can do now because a lot of places have parks and they're underutilized and you can use a corner of it to grow stuff. But a lot of people had kitchen gardens and they would exchange things with their neighbors, and this is something that we need to get back to, okay? Because it's really important that we know our neighbors and we can really huddle together when it comes to and not wait till there's a disaster to do these things. We should be doing these things on a regular. So it's a movement towards more sustainability, um, to embracing more whole foods, global food security for all of us, creating and reducing the impact we have on our environment, and most of all, improving our health. Okay. Now, I hope you were inspired by this episode, and I encourage you to take action. We're going to continue to talk about this as we go forward, starting your own garden, transforming some of your meals so that they're high raw, they are whole food meals, getting involved in some food security in your community. All these things count when you're moving forward in the future, and taking your family and your kids along in this discussion can move the needle forward so that we have more of a sustainable future when it comes to sun cooked or raw vegan foods. So until next time, stay vibrant, stay nourished, and keep living in harmony with nature. Thank you.